Okay, so is everyone in? Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Super excited here to see everyone. Happy Wednesday. Yesterday was the longest day of the year, summer solstice. So, man, happy summer, everyone. The summer real estate market is always a hot thing. And I did a video, a market update yesterday. I'd recommend each and all of you to give a real estate market update because the market is still hot. It's still cooking. It's not accelerating at the rate that it was at 120 miles an hour. It's decelerated slightly to about 80, which is still pretty good. It's pretty strong. So, well, cool. Well, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. I've got Coach Byrd here. Coach, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. I want to say hi to everybody. I'm in Orlando, Florida today. So,
oh, me too.
The other side of the spectrum, folks.
Yeah. Well, awesome. And man, you crushed it last week with Person of Interest when you were out here in California last Tuesday. So we'd love for you to share Person of Interest 2.0, and then also maybe a few nuggets from what you shared yesterday, because I heard you crushed it. So Coach, can turn it over to you.
Well, I tell people it's easy if you cook with the right ingredients. and the right ingredients is the right audience, right? It's much easier to be good when you got people who are hungry to learn. So for those of you that came out to California, I think last week, I just want to say thank you. Number one, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed California. I enjoyed how hospitable you guys were, and I'm just proud to work with Tom, who is just a world-class dude. He's got an incredible, contagious optimism about him, and I really like that. When I wrote the book Person of Interest many years ago, I wrote it because I had a problem. And most of the time when I write books, I'm on book number 17 right now. I write it because I'm trying to work my own way out of a problem. Okay. And my problem was I was 3 years into my business. I was coming from being a basketball coach. Most people knew me as a championship basketball coach, and I had transitioned into coaching business people. I started right in the middle of the 2008 recession, which is how I inadvertently ended up coaching real estate agents. I did not go after real estate agents. I didn't go after mortgage companies. But because of the recession, the good ones were looking for an advantage. And so typically when people go looking for an advantage, they go looking for a coach who can coach you, who can mentor you, who can guide you. And so I, in 2008, began coaching real estate and big home builders, coming up with any strategy I could to move a house. Because I was working with home builders, Tom, that were used to selling 40 houses a week, and we're down to selling 4 houses a week.
Oh,
okay. So it was how creative can we get? And so, I had some success early on, but really in my 3rd year, I had a big revelation. And the revelation was, man, I feel like I'm chasing a business. And what I really would rather do is attract business. And I remembered something Jim Rohn said, okay? And he said, to attract other people, we must become attractive. And I wrote down on a napkin in a restaurant on a Saturday morning with my best friend, who was a real estate agent, doing 35 deals a year at that time. I wrote down 3 words: person of interest. Okay, how do I become a person of interest? And I remember telling him, man, I want to get to the point where I'm attracting large numbers of people to me. Tonight, I'm doing a Zoom that has 800 people on it. Yesterday, I was at the EXP shareholders meeting. I was doing a private session for 200 people, and I'm feeding large numbers of people into the cycle. And if you remember what I said in California, you don't need more money, you need more people. The people have the money. So the people who get the most attention and have something really valuable attract people to them. And this is where you want to be. You want to become known. You want to become a person of interest. So then it's like, okay, how do you become known? How do you become famous? See, I live in Nashville. That's my hometown. And people come to Nashville to go from being unknown to known, right? Yeah, I was somewhere the other night, and John Daly got up and sang a song. John Daly, after he has too many drinks, gets up on stage and sings. and he has too many drinks pretty much every day. But it was a big deal to everybody because John Daly, the famous golfer, got up on stage and was singing country music songs. So people come to Nashville to become famous, to become known. That's all the word famous means, by the way, known. So the question becomes, what will you become known for? What are you known for in the market right now? And people are typically known because they have some superior skill set, right? They have some superior skill set. And so people are attracted to other people that have certain skills and abilities that can help them move toward their goals. Okay. So I started going, okay, what do people of interest have? Okay. And I'm going to give you some ingredients of people of interest. And I did not share this in California. So this is truly 2.0. All right, Matthew, this is 2.0 version right here. Number one, people of interest don't just have knowledge. They have specified knowledge. Okay. This is why you heard me refer to Navy SEALs, Green Berets, Special Forces. You're never going to be a person of interest with general skills. Generalists make general money. Okay. When I first started my coaching business, companies were typically paying me 6 figures to come in and take their people and get more results out of them. Okay. They'd say, hey, take these people. And a mortgage company would say, hey, we're doing 600 million. We'd like to do $1 billion. We got to pick up 400 million in the next year. Now here's your 50 mortgage originators. Good luck. That's what they'd say to me. Good luck. And I had a very specialized skill because I was a former championship coach. I knew how to mobilize. I knew how to instill systems. I knew how to activate the prey drive in their people. And so they were hiring me because they're like, this little bald-headed dude can take these people and get us to $1 billion. Okay. And I would say, man, if I got you to $1 billion, would you give me an extra $1 million bonus if I got you to $1 billion? And they would go, if you got us to $1 billion, sure, we'd give you, mortgage companies were giving me 20 bips overrides on the whole sales team. It was because I had a very specialized skill. So if I ask you today, what is your specialized skill set? You may be great at negotiating. You may be great at marketing. You may be great at connection. You may be great at packaging. You may be great at building deep networks, but you got to be great at something. You can't be average at something. Because I was here at the EXP shareholders meeting, a lot of the top people sat in on my session yesterday. Veronica Figueroa, Gogo Bethke. I was doing it for Jay Kinder and Al Stasic. A lot of the top people were in the room with me yesterday. And I was thinking when I left, and I was asking some of the people, I'm like, why do you think that one's growing so fast? And people would tell me, oh, they got this skill. Or they got this skill. Oh, he's got this skill. She's got this skill. He's got that skill. See, to be a real person of interest, you got to have something very specialized. So I want you to start thinking of yourself like a Navy SEAL, Green Beret. You're not a generalist. You're a specialist. What are you a specialist at? I am a specialist at activating the prey drive in people, packaging content, delivering content in such a way that gets people to take action. Most people call that coaching. Okay. I call it activating the prey drive to think bigger. Okay. So number one, they got specialized skill. Number two, okay, they've got unique knowledge of something. Okay. They've got unique knowledge. I grew up studying a guy named Ram Charan, and Ram Charan was a great consultant that Jack Welch brought in and some of the top companies in the world brought in, and they paid him a fortune. And he had a knowledge of profitability. He knew how to make companies incredibly profitable. Okay. I think about Jay Abraham, who is a strategist that helps companies tweak their businesses. He has some kind of knowledge. I think about the top real estate agent I coached in South Carolina. He knew that market, local market, inside and out. Nobody had more knowledge of the market than him. He was incredible. So I want you to think a person of interest has some kind of unique knowledge. They have some kind of specialized skill. Okay. Number three, they have some type of contagious confidence. Okay. They're incredibly confident. I'm going to use another word, bold. They're remarkably bold. They have no fear, man. No fear of rejection, no fear of failure, no fear of embarrassment, no fear of anything. They have a confidence about them. And now, when you study The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, there's a chapter in that book called The Impression of Increase. And I was doing something with Paul Martinelli. Paul Martinelli came in and took John Maxwell's coaching company to $350 million in 10 years, 33,000 certified coaches. And so I hired Paul Martinelli to be an advisor to me. And I said, man, what do all the greats have? You've worked with Maxwell, you've worked with these people, you did 350 million in 10 years. He said, man, they all give off the impression of increase. When you're with them, you feel like you can do anything. Everybody see that? Yesterday, right in the middle of the session, there's this big dude that's married to an EXP agent. He's a big mortgage guy in St. Louis, like big old dude. And he stood right up in the middle of my session. He's like, man, I'm going bigger right now, coach. I'm like, man, it's right in the middle of the session. Like, I still got like an hour to go. And he was so excited. He just jumped up right in the middle and said, man, I'm playing so small. I'm sick of playing small. We're doing 1,000-person event in St. Louis, coach. And I'm bringing you there. And I'm like, let's do it. What something triggered in him that made his mind just go, I'm playing too small. It was an impression of increase, man. See, people of interest give off an impression that when you're with me, you can do anything. We're playing small in comparison. Think about the people you really look up to, you really admire, you really respect. Think about how when you're around them, they make you think bigger, play bigger, want to go bigger. Are they not remarkably bold? Yes or no? See, they're remarkably bold, man. So look at what we're doing. We're building ingredients. Now, I can't cook very well. My wife can cook without recipes. That's one of her talents. So she got that from her grandmother, and she can literally cook something without looking at a recipe. And then she can tell you it's missing this, it's missing this. And I asked her one day, I said, what if you're missing just one thing? And she said, if you miss just one thing, it changes the whole thing. That is like being a person of interest. What if you have an incredible skill set? How many of you know somebody that's really smart, but really bad at connection to people? Right?
Yep.
So see, it's like if you're missing one of these ingredients, it prohibits your person of interest score. I know people who are incredibly skilled, but not likable, not approachable. They don't give off an impression of increase. I know some people that are incredibly likable, but they're weak in their skills. So it's like you're trying to build ingredients here. So I got knowledge, I got skill, I got confidence. Now, let me give you one more. There's typically 8 I teach, but I'm going to give you 4 of the 8 today. Connection. People of interest are really good at how they connect to other people. Now, let me tell you why this is important. The way I drive 3,000 leads every 90 days is I give off an impression of increase, number one, and I know how to lower the walls of resistance in people. See, I have been coached by some of the best people in the world, specifically on connection, meaning how do I connect to another person? How do I connect to their heart? How do I connect to their spirit? And typically connection starts with being vulnerable, which is really hard for a lot of people. Everybody see that? Okay. It's being vulnerable. Yesterday, when I was in that room, the moments where I really connected with people was when I was vulnerable, when I was telling stories of knockdowns and breakdowns and depression and getting back up and fighting through it. And man, right. That's when I connected to those people. And then those people feel a bond with me. And they come up and they say, man, I needed to hear what you said. It's exactly what I'm going through something right now, coach. I needed to hear it. Now, when you connect with enough people through social media, through in person, through your client interactions, through how you handle people during the day, when you have enough people thinking about you and the connection and impact you had on them and their life, what happens is your person of interest score begins to go up. Because now what are people doing, Tom? They're talking about you. See, I had this guy at my house on Saturday night. He's running a $100 million company called the Timeshare Warrior. He took on the timeshare industry and he started a company to help people get out of bad timeshare deals. And he made a statement on Saturday night. He said, I believe if you have enough people thinking positive thoughts about you at one time, good things are going to happen in your life. And you know why you would have a lot of people thinking good thoughts about you? Because you've done something good for them. You've connected with them. Now imagine having thousands and thousands and thousands of people thinking positive thoughts about you because you've had that kind of impact on their life, right? So I want you to think about what you could be missing in this recipe. Okay. Most real estate agents do not see themselves as specialists. And that's really the first problem they have, is they see themselves as realtors, right? They're just realtors. We represent buyers and sellers. I want you to change the way you see yourself. Is you are a Navy SEAL. You're a Green Beret. You're a specialist. You have a very specialized skill set. See, Tom Cruise can charge $30 million a film because he does his own stunts. He's just that good. Okay. So if I ask you right now, let's say I'm coming to California, right? Because there's pretty weather and no bugs, right, Tom?
That's right.
And I can go outside and exercise at 10 o'clock in the morning, and 82 feels like 75, which I love. If I said, man, I'm coming to California, put the top 3 agents down for me so I can interview the top 3. I want one, the one that's the best negotiator. I want 2, the one that's got the deepest networks. And 3, I want one who can represent me at a ridiculously high level. Like they really understand the mindset that I'm going to bring to this. Okay. Now, those are very specialized skills, guys. They're not generic. I didn't say, hey, just send me over any old real estate agent who does a few homes. I want a specialist, not a generalist. So which ingredients are you missing? Is it knowledge? Is it skill? Is it confidence? Okay. Or is it connection? These are 4 key ingredients to people of interest. Okay. Now, if you want to be a person of interest, there's 3 things that people of interest have, okay, outside of these ingredients. And this is really what I do for a lot of the agents I coach. Because my ultimate goal for the agents I coach is to turn them into people of interest, right? If they become people of interest, they become more known, they get more leads, they attract more people. The whole ball game changes when you become a person of interest, folks. Number 1, they have a message. They have a message. They're not just buying, they're not just representing buyers and sellers. They have something to say. They have something valuable to say. My message, everybody needs a coach in life. A good coach can change your life, right? Until the prey drive is activated, nothing happens. $1 million follow-up. Become a person of interest. See, these are messages I push out to the market. Sometimes I call them concepts. And when I push these concepts out to the market, that attracts people to me. Okay, everybody see that? That pulls people toward me, not because of who I am, but because of the concept. Okay, I had a coach once who taught me, before you become famous, learn how to position by concept. Come up with incredible concepts that other people are attracted to, that solve problems for them. That's number 1. So what is your message that you say over and over and over and over so people can build affinity with that message? Okay. Now, when there was a brand strategist that broke down the 2 messages between Hillary Clinton when she ran for president and Donald Trump. And she had a message that says, I'm with Hillary. Okay. Now, if you study brand messaging, you never want the message to be about you. It's always about them. You're not the hero. You're the guide. Her message was, I'm with Hillary. Trump's message was what? Make America great again. Everybody remember that? Okay. And then when they were going for re-election against Biden, he got off message. he should have said, keep America great. Okay. So here's my point. I'm not telling you for or against either one. I'm just telling you one was about one person, one was about other people. What is your message and what does it do for other people? Number 2, people of interest typically have a big mission. They have a big mission. Okay. They have a big mission. They're not just talking about buying and selling real estate, guys. They're helping kids. You look at what Ed Milet just did with his new book, which was phenomenal. he had to move and sell that book. He said, I'm going to give all the proceeds of this book to the victims of the shooting in Texas. Okay. Now, when somebody does that, number one, it's a good thing to do, but number two, it builds tremendous goodwill toward people. When you have a big mission, like I coached a real estate agent once, Tom, and he said, look, I need you to help me make $4 million a year because I'm going to give away $1 million a year to charity. Right. He said, my big B is to give away $1 million a year, but I got to make 4 million to give away $1 million. That's what I want you to help me do, coach. That's a big mission. Okay. So we got to get out of, see, I'm building greatness factories around the country. I've got success schools for kids. I'm doing bigger things than just trying to make a dollar. Okay. And what that does is it attracts people to you. So what is your big mission that you talk about? Who do you want to help? What's a cause you're involved in? People of interest always have some big mission. They're involved in something. Man, I want to help 10,000 people. I want to make 100 millionaires. I want to build kids' schools. I want to do this. What is it that your mission is? And that attracts me to you. People of interest are not attracted to people doing small things. People in the world are not attracted to people doing small things. They're attracted to people doing big things. Okay. The third thing and final piece is that people of interest have a lot of movement. A lot of movement. See, I'm constantly partnering with people. Tom will tell you this. I do a lot of strategic partnerships because I understand the concept that you don't need more money, you need more people. Okay, so before this call, I was messaging people that are people of interest who have reached out to me or said something to me. And I'm like, I want to do something with you, man. I want to partner with you. I want you and I to do something together. Now, let me tell you why I do that, Randy Byrd. I do it because they have access to more people and I have access to people. So if I have access to 400,000 people or 1 million people and they have access to 1 million people, we put those two together, we got 2 million people. Now, if we get in front of 2 million people, how many of you believe we're going to shake something loose? How many of you believe we're going to do some business with somebody? Just out of sheer volume of numbers. Okay, this is how you need to be thinking. Who do you need to be partnering with wherever you live in the world? What do you guys need to be doing together? How can you be creating something? Creating what? An idea, a concept, something to invite people to, a partnership. People of interest have a lot of movement. So they're in California, and then they're in Arizona, and then they're in Florida, and then they're in Michigan, and then they're boom, boom, they're moving and circulating because guess what? Everywhere they go, they pick up new people. They pick up new people. See, yesterday we fed, 178 new people into my funnel, into my cycle. So imagine going and picking up 200, 300, 400, 500 people everywhere you go into the cycle that you can then talk to, market to, call, do a partnership with, right? While I was out in Sacramento with you guys, out in Rockland and Roseville, am I saying it right? Yeah. When I was out there and then went over to Marysville, right? And then, right? Now, here's the deal. Then I stopped by the Growth Factory there and saw Mark Haney out there in Sacramento because people told me I need to know Mark Haney. So I stopped by and saw him and then said, hey, man, can we do something here at the Growth Factory with you? And he said, yes. And he said, man, so see, everywhere I went, I'm just making friends everywhere I go. And I'm collecting that data. And then I'm following up with those people going, hey, what can we do together, Mark? What if we added a coaching program for all your entrepreneurs? You got 50 businesses you're investing in. What if they all got coaching, early coaching for me? What if we gave them coaching as part of their membership? How do we add a kids component to this Growth Factory? See, I don't know if anything's going to happen, but we're going to try to make it happen. Okay. So to wrap it up, what I'm giving you are key indicators of people of interest. Now, you know, the best part of that story is when I was sitting there with my buddy who was a real estate agent, who was doing 35 deals a year. Okay. Today, that same real estate agent is doing 300 transactions per year. And he came to me 7 years later and he said, you know what you really helped me to do, man? Become a person of interest. He said, when I got that concept that you came up with sitting at that restaurant on that Saturday morning, and I put it into practice 7 years later, I'm making $1 million a year. I got X number of people on my team and I have become the #1 agent in my market. And he said, person of interest is what did it for me. Just knowing the concept did it for me. Okay. So what questions do you guys have about this person of interest concept?
Any question? Randy, you got a question? Matthew, Ryan?
How do you manage to keep up with all of it?
Well, I have a system of how I attack a day, typically through my selling system. I didn't teach that in California, but I have a series of actions that I take every day. They're typically 35 to 45, what I call high value activities. I'm in Orlando right now. So this morning I was out walking around, exercising, making phone calls, sending videos, following up with people. I don't complicate it. See, a lot of people think selling is real hard. It's real complicated. To me, I just touch and tag people. And then when I meet new people, I follow up with those people. Okay. And it's like, hey, let's you and I do something. And that creates something else. So I do have a system of how I manage all of that. And then I do use a certain CRM system that we keep things in. But I personally don't go into the CRM and make phone calls. My sales team does. I literally keep the numbers in my phone, my note section of my phone. And if I meet cool people, I just say, hey, man, put your name and number in my phone. So yesterday alone, if I went to my note section, I could show you all the people that were talking to me. And I would say, hey, just put your name and number in here and I'll follow up with you. Some of those people said, I want you to work with my whole team, EXP. Some of those people said, I want to come to these retreats with you. Some of those people said, man, I've got to be, and today I just go back and I just follow up with them. Right. And we go 7 to 15 touches. So we do keep it in a CRM, although I personally don't need the CRM to do millions of dollars of business. I just go out there and meet people and follow up with them. You know, I'm just old school, baby. I just keep it in my notes section of my phone. And I just go back. Who all did I meet in California? Who do I need to follow up with? Okay. And just typically 35 to 45 touches a day. Okay. Great question. And I can typically do it in 2 hours a day, by the way. I can do all those touches in 2 hours. I don't need 8 hours. In 2 hours, I can be very effective. Some of those are just text messages. Some of those are phone calls. Some of those are video messages. Some of those are trying to get somebody off the fence. Some of those are doing a Zoom like this. This is a high value activity. Me being in front of new people, me being in front of you, me working with Tom introducing me to his friends out there in Sacramento, right?
That's right. That's right. And I know you spoke about follow-up yesterday. What percentage of your activity is follow-up?
High percentage.
Yeah.
If you really boiled everything I do down and just said there's only one thing that you could tell us to do, I would say, man, I spend every day following up with people, following up on opportunity, following up on deals, following up on leads. Most of my day is spent following up with people.
Well, that's the number one biggest mistake that realtors make, and they have, is they just fail to follow up. They just don't follow up at a high level, 7 to 14 touches. And the fortune is in the follow-up. The other failure that agents make is they show up and they don't know who to call and they don't know what to say. Yep. So if we can master those, know how to follow up, and because it's a skill, and then also who to call and what to say, we're going to create that confidence that Coach is talking about. So, well, cool, Coach. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to reach out, what's the best way?
I would say if you want to talk to me about anything, what's going on in your business, do a strategy session, see how I can help you personally, get you into a coaching program. Tom is in our coaching program, so he has a high frequency with me. Just email me, coach@coachbyrd.com.
Well, awesome.
And whether it is no obligation, but I'm telling you, all the greats have a coach, guys. And me coming out to California and seeing you for 2 hours is not going to change your life. It can open your mind, but it ain't going to change your life. So if you're serious about doing something, then reach out to me. We do a strategy call, and then we figure out what you're trying to do, and then we try to help you.
Hey, Coach, I love you, man. You know what? You're exactly right. When I'm with you, I feel like I can do anything, man. Let's go. You're awesome. You're exciting. So everyone, okay, this Friday, we're going to talk about, it's a skill-based business. Right now, Coach is right. You got to have the knowledge. You got to have the skill. So we're going to bring in Ron Cedillo from Tracy, California, and he's going to teach the skills to close more buyer deals in this changing market. So that's this Friday, Freedom Friday, 9 a.m. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Coach. Enjoy Orlando. Talk soon, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.
Guys are
Coach.
awesome.
See you later. Good job.